I want you to explain to people who want to get into advanced market sales. We don't have to go into a script, but I do want you to talk to agents who are writing IULs right now and want to do what you do, writing annuities, writing more
Mhm.
true advanced market sales overall. What would you say to those agents?
So that's going to really come down to how much time you spend on self-education. For me, I went from final expense, right? And this, Trey, did it with you. Final expense, and then I dabbled in the IULs. And at the time, IULs weren't even popular. No one was really running ads for IULs, so it was like a hit or miss. I think it was one of our ideas, like, hey, let's try this campaign, and we started doing the IUL thing, and it worked. So I started getting some IUL sales in, and then for about a year, I would say I was 50-50. So I was half final expense, half IUL. So I always like to mention it like a tree. A tree builds from the seed to the root to the trunk to the branch, and then it flowers, right? So the final expense and the basics, that's the beginning piece. And then blending that into IULs is going to depend on you having to learn it, use your carriers, run through illustrations, self-educate, YouTube videos, calling the carriers that you want to write these policies with, calling the sales desk and asking questions on how things work inside those specific products, and then being able to properly project that to a client when you're sitting with them and explain it and educate them and add value, because the more value you add from an educational standpoint, the more prone they are into buying your product. And then once you get good at that, the IUL sales not that hard, right? It's about getting people approved, finding the right budget, and finding their long-term maybe retirement goals and what they want to do with the policy, whether that's cash value accumulation, tax-free loans, tax-free income, the life insurance piece, the living benefits. And then, as you know, I do full-time annuity now. So I had started and got my first annuity clients through those IUL appointments, which comes down to doing the correct financial inventory, meaning asking the golden question: do you have any other assets that would pay out aside from this life insurance policy we're about to set you up with? Any 401ks, IRAs, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, CDs, money in the bank, right? And you get a list of that inventory, and then you would start learning. And we have something coming out with exclusive annuities where we have a little mentorship course and all of that. But that's going to really come down to you learning annuities, which is the next step up from IULs, which is a very similar concept to IULs. It's just not a life insurance product. It's a growth account with no risk. It's an accumulation based product, or you can use them for income. And then you just have to learn that, dive into that self-education, right? Like I said, I had no mentors or no one teaching me this stuff in the beginning. It was literally me on YouTube, carrier websites, on the phone with each carrier sales desk. And then honestly, my first couple, I got a little bit of help from someone that mentored me a little bit on my first two presentations. And then from there, I just started showing the plan more. Every time I found money, I just learned how to do the illustration and learned what I can to communicate it properly. And then that's how I closed my first couple annuities. And now I'm writing 10 million of annuities a year. That was my process.
Yeah, 100%. And I think agency owners want to get to that place, but they're not willing to. I mean, you and I have had a lot of conversations about the ups and downs of figuring out, like you said, like mentoring yourself and learning and being on YouTube and not really having like a hands-on guide. Hence why, in the process of creating a community, which by the way, if you guys are seeing this and you're interested in like getting into advanced market sales, like you need to join his community. I'm not just saying that because he's my guy, but genuinely, he actually knows how to like structure things properly for the client and isn't just interested in trying to get a quick buck. But I think it's super helpful for agents to know like it's not a simple ride, right? You need to really dedicate yourself and, like you said, self-educate